a lot of people have been having the discussion that the we have two dominant cultures in South Louisiana, and essentially that being the Cajun culture and the Creole culture. Now, all of us for years have understood that each of these cultures was a unique hybrid culture that resulted from uh, the the people that were here before us. The fact that New Orleans was um, a major port city where you had a lot of different nationalities, the various changes of hands that had taken place in Louisiana, and the introduction of the Cajuns or the Acadians at the time into Louisiana was obviously a significant event in history. Now, in this time, the the Creoles had been established in several parts of Louisiana. Now, there's a big argument about how do you define Creole, and you know, nobody can truly agree on an answer. You have people that are going to pick their answer, which is fine. Nobody, doesn't hurt anybody one way or the other. But this factors in to some of the mindsets that some of the people are taking. Now, we take nothing away from the Creoles. Honestly, we considered it as a complementing culture that was very similar to our own. There are some subtle differences here and there, but ultimately, through the years, our cultures, particularly in the heart of Acadiana area, and throughout, shouldn't say just the heart of, but throughout Acadiana, that these cultures have been so closely integrated that many of our customs and traditions, the way we cook, a lot of this stuff has is kind of really blended together. One learns from the other. Or a lot of times people aren't even thinking about it. Somebody has a recipe, how do they make it? Oh, I like that. I'm going to put my twist on it a little bit. And at some point in time, it gets handed down from family member to family member, and it gets changed along the way. Great. That's how things work. Now, there is a school of thought that's fairly recent to me. I mean, I had not even been aware that there were people trying to do this. But there are people out there that want to say that no, the Acadian culture when it came to Louisiana had zero impact on Louisiana, and that the people who came from Nova Scotia and they came down here and in lots of thousands or whatever, no, you know that they essentially just abandoned their history, abandoned their culture, abandoned their cooking, abandoned everything, and like the Borg, they were assimilated into the Creole culture. Everything that we have seen and learned about our history begs to differ. Whereas before, we've always looked at it as a beautiful thing, the way the people here came together. But now you have some people that want to say, "Oh no, you guys, y'all came here, y'all were really no more significant than anything. It's just that you guys had a name and the marketing engine took over, and y'all aren't really anything different. Y'all are just Creole branded as a Cajun. It just doesn't work. That doesn't fly. And so I have an illustration here that's very simple, and I think it will make the point that the two cultures mixing together, or the influence of one culture onto the other, that created the culture that we have here in Louisiana. And without each one without the other one, we would not be who we are today on either side of that line. Okay, so you will see here as we take the Cajun represented by the blue, the Creole represented by the yellow, and when we bring them together where they overlap, we have green. Now, there is no other way for us to have green unless we introduce these two colors together. It's just that simple. Green is our Cajun culture.